such a good time playing on the swings and climbing. Owen was climbing because he loves climbing. And they were lying down on the grass then after, very tired after all their running around. Mama and Dada were setting up a picnic on the table nearby. So they were lying down looking up at all the fluffy clouds. And they were moving across the sky. And then Emer said, look, Owen, that cloud looks like a little puppy, a fluffy puppy. So she lying there and they said, look, he's coming over to us. And the cloud began to float down from the sky and landed beside Emer. And the two of them just sat up. My goodness, Emer, said Owen, look at that beautiful fluffy puppy. And he had eyes like two little blue stars and a little mouth, and he put out his tongue and it was fluffy and white. And he licked Emer's leg, and Emer and Owen were laughing and they thought, my goodness, this is very strange. So they looked back to Mama and Dada at the picnic table. They were looking at Emer and Owen, but they didn't seem to think this was strange, that there was a puppy sitting beside them, all what looked like made of all cotton wool. So they sat for a few minutes, and then the puppy licked Emer again. So they said, I wonder would he like to go for a little run. So up they got, and they were running around in circles, and the little puppy was just following them everywhere. They didn't know what to think. So then they decided, we'll go over and show it to Mama and Dada. So over they went to Mama and Dada, and Emer said, look, Mama, look. A little fluffy puppy came down from the sky. And Mama says, where is it? I can't see it. And Emer said, it's here, Mama, it's here, right beside us. We just took it for a walk. And Mama says, okay, that's lovely. Are you going to go running with him again? So Emer said, yeah, we'll take him for a longer walk this time. So they went down towards the little lake, but they were very careful when they were near the lake. They stayed well away from the edge. Like Mama always says, don't go near the edge of the water. So they went up and down by the side, and little puppy was following them. And all the other boys and girls were playing around. But they didn't seem to pay any attention to Emer and Owen's little fluffy puppy. So they thought, okay, we're going to bring this puppy home. So they went back to Mama and Dada and said, can we bring our puppy home? And Mama said, I don't know. Will he come home with you? Because he probably wants to go back to his Mama and Dada, who are up in the sky. You wouldn't like to go home without your Mama and Dada. And they said, but he wants to come with us. So Dada said, well, he loves to play with you, but I don't know if he'd want to come home. Maybe the next day we come back to the park, and he's flying up in the sky, playing away, and he sees you're back. And he'll probably come straight back down to you tomorrow to play the next day. And maybe the next day again. Because now he's made friends with you, and you like him, and he likes you. You're not afraid of him at all. So Emer and Owen thought about this for a minute, and they said, maybe you're right, Mama. You won't go home with strangers. And Mama said, that's right, you never talk to strangers or go home with strangers. So they went back down to the park, and they were lying down back to where they were beside the swings. They lay down on the grass again. The little puppy stayed beside them. He sat down beside them, and he lay down on the grass as well. And as they were lying down, looking at all the clouds floating by, two bigger clouds went by. Two puppy clouds, and they were looking down into the park everywhere, looking everywhere down into the park. And then they saw their little puppy sitting with Emer and Owen. And when Puppy saw them, he gave Emer and Owen a lovely big lick on the cheek and began to float back up to the sky, back up to their Mama and Dada. And he went off, moving slowly across the sky. And Emer and Owen said, bye-bye, Puppy, bye-bye. And then what happened next? Emer and Owen woke up in bed, and they were thinking, what happened? Will the puppy come back? Will he come and play with us again tomorrow? So they decided, if we're good, maybe he will come and play with us again tomorrow. So they ran downstairs and told Mama and Dada about the brilliant dream they had had about the little puppy. Okay, boys and girls, that's the end of the story for tonight, and I'll see you all again tomorrow. Bye bye, sleep well. Good evening, boys and girls. How are you all today? I hope you had a lovely day, whether at school or in nursery, and now you're all snuggled up in bed after your bath and ready for your story. Well, the story today starts with a little boy and girl called Emer and Owen. They had been at play school in Nenra all day, which is like a little school, and they came home from school and Mama had packed a picnic for them. And in their picnic basket they had some little flasks with juice in them, and they had little tishy cupcakes and sandwiches and pears cut up and grapes and apples and oranges. So off they went to their favourite place for their picnic, down the garden, and there was a lovely